What is going on, everybody? It's your favorite Introvert here, and today we're going to be going over firmware updates for the Parrot Disco. Basically, the newest update, 1.7.0, came out, so I uploaded it to the Disco. I'm going to fly it, going to review it, and go through all the nitty-gritty details, and I'm also going to check and see if the data is there, the flight data, because there's reports with the Bebop that the flight data is not there when you go into My Flights and check to see your flight data and everything. So that's going to be looked into, and we're going to go and see what all has changed within the app with this firmware update. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, starting off with the interface, we have FPV mode, which you have the selections of manual and auto, as well as the configure button there. You have glasses model. You can select which pair of cockpit glasses you have, whether you have the first version or the second. Show mini map, which is never, with controller, or always. Map type, you have road map, satellite, and hybrid. Hand launch, you have the options of yes or no, and show grid of yes or no. Piloting, you have pitch mode, normal or inverted. This is on the joysticks whether or not you want the up direction to be nose down, or if you want the up direction to be nose up. That's basically what that means. You have your loiter direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, and loiter altitude of 35 meters, which, well, you have your loiter altitude, which you have a slider there that you can select at which altitude you want your disco to level off on and loiter there. And for safety settings, you have return delay after disconnection. I have it set to 10 seconds. You have your max altitude, min altitude, max distance, and geofence. Here for your video, you have your recording resolution. You have the options between 720 and 1080. Recording quality, you have standard and high, and your frame rates, you have 24, 25, and 30 FPS. And network settings, you have your network, your disco's name, which is the access point that it is broadcasting, location, where you are, United States is auto, and of course you have the option to select whether you want to fly indoors or outdoors. I don't even know why that's an option, because it's crazy to think that you would fly the disco indoors. Wi-Fi band, 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, although my 5 gigahertz is grayed out. Even when I select manual mode, it only allows me to choose between the 2.4 gigahertz channels that are available. And here you can see that they have a graph displayed of your potential interference. So the lower the noise, the better for that. I'm going to switch back to 2.4 gigahertz just because. So basically these are relatively the same. I don't believe anything has changed with this new firmware update. Now let's go ahead and touch on the topic of my Parrot. And yes, I too am having issues with my flight data being recorded. It says that my last flight was June 11th and that I crashed this one time. I don't even recall doing so. You can see as I scroll down, these are all Bebop 2 drone flights. So my last disco flight recorded was March 22nd. Let's go ahead and enter it in here. It was a flight of 4 minutes and 58 seconds. It gives you my geotag location where I flew, the percentage of battery used. Here you can see the GPS flight, which it was at the flying field again, and it gives you all the graphical data there, as well as your telemetry printouts, and the media is grayed out and I'm not able to select it. So yes, I understand what you guys are talking about, and yes, I'm having the same issue. It seems to be that it is a known issue in the community, just not sure why Parrot isn't addressing this, and also why they're not releasing any update notes or release notes for firmware version 1.7.0. So they release a new drone but then fail to support their already existing products, and they continue to disappoint new members of their community. So with that, I apologize to you guys who are just now entering into the Parrot family. It seems to be that this is a known issue and we all are dealing with it. So with that, I hope you have some happy flying. It doesn't seem to affect any of the performance from these drones. It's just your telemetry data will not be stored in your My Parrot account. So that is unfortunate. But with all that being said, it's still pretty stable. Nothing drastic seems to have changed. And it still prompts me every flight to calibrate my drone, which is kind of frustrating in that regard. But all in all, it's a fun drone to fly, and just have fun with it. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I really appreciate the support. That's going to wrap it up for today. I'll see you next video.